Hello everyone, I'm Cyrus Webb here with Ben Patterson. You know him from everything from television and music. We're going to talk to him not only about his experience as an actor, but also what it's been like to show his creativity with all of you. Stay with us, you don't want to miss it.
Stay with us.
It's time to shine, time to shine. So shine on. Ooh, shine on. It's time to shine. It's time to shine. Now's the moment you were created for. Can you feel it's right? Come on, let's go. You're in control. So tell me what you want.
And you're watching Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm Cyrus Webb, once again here in Los Angeles. I'm excited to welcome Ben Patterson to our program today. Ben and I actually met because of the show on the Wimpy Network, Greenleaf. I've been following his journey since that conversation, though. He's been involved in so many great things, including music. We're going to talk to him about that, what it's been like for him as a creative person to share that with all of you, and also let you know how to stay connected with him. Ben, thank you so much for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here in LA.
Well, man, well, I shouldn't say that too. Because it's been 2 years since last time I was here, but you and I have not met before.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the ride for you.
Okay.
Because, as I said, I wasn't joking. You do everything. You do music, you're involved in acting, you're able to share your creativity visually.
Mm-hmm.
What has it been like for you to not only to discover what you love, but then to be able to share it with all of us?
It's been an interesting ride in a few aspects because on the one hand, I can look at the progress that I've made as an actor and go, yeah, I started off here and, now I'm working with people that I've actually idolized, as an adult, as a kid. Speaking of like Keith and Lynn. And then as a musician, I can listen to my own work and go like, wow, I remember when I felt like this was the most complicated thing to pull off. And now I'm able to like create stuff that I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So it's fun. And then it also presents its inherent challenges, like, okay, wanting to be better, wanting to be current, and then also wanting to be unique.
And that uniqueness, I'm glad you said that, because, and I told you I did that.
It's funny when you say that.
Yeah. I think setting oneself apart is so important, but not always easy.
Yes.
Especially when you're compared as the next Denzel or the next, whoever musically. How have you been able to do that? To do what you love, but also make sure it's your voice that's coming through in everything that you do.
Interesting. That's a good question. Thanks for the Denzel shout out because I'm like, okay, I'm with that. The way I've managed to do it is I listen to a lot of different styles of music, and sometimes I'll draw inspiration from a classical piece or a jazz piece. My son right now loves this song called Angel Face by Bill Evans. If you look it up, it's a piano instrumental, but he loves it. And sometimes I'll create something, and while creating it, if I hear something that sounds too much like whatever, any of the songs that are floating around my head, I'll either stop it completely or I'll look at it visually, like where my hands are on the piano or guitar, and I'll literally just change a single finger. And in the altering of that, it's like if you're watching someone do a monologue, if they don't use their hands and at one point in the monologue they just throw their hands up, it creates such a different dynamic that it does take on its own momentum and its own voice. And so I feel like that's the safe way of going, okay, I'm going to be different. I don't know how, but I know if I hear something similar, then I'll just throw something in there and just alter it. You know what I mean? And then in doing so, I can kind of create something that still has the same common denominator of my style, but then it'll be the numerator in that analogy will be me doing something a little bit different.
Yeah. One of the things I love about you, Ben, is that you definitely let your personality come through in conversations like this, our radio conversation, but also social media. You have been able to use, in a very, I think, brilliant way, Instagram Live.
Yeah.
And being able to, no, seriously, I mean, not only do we get to see his sunglasses change, his glasses change, he's through the filters, but no, seriously, you've been able to also share your music that way, interact that way. talk to us about social media and that, because I've talked to some people, even in this conversations I've been having today. There's sometimes a conflict of you want to do what you love, but what to share, what not to share, how people look at what you share. How even one conversation I had, they were talking about how it's sad when you being picked for a role comes down to how many people view you on this platform or that platform. So how have you made the decision on how you want to use social media?
The way I've made the decision is kind of simple. Like, I feel like social media for me can be used as like a commercial or like a little snippet of what's going on, which is kind of the idea behind it.
Sure.
Given the word social and media. So I feel like if I'm comfortable to share it, then it's fine, because once it's out there, it's out there. And I'll take something that I'm like, ooh, this is kind of funny, or this is kind of everyday me. All my friends that I grew up with that I'm still in contact know that, like, I love cars, I love music, I love, joking around, stuff like that. And I can still find stuff on a daily basis or on a weekly basis to share, but at the same time, I don't get so caught up in it that I'm like, posting every 3 hours or every, because I'm busy, like I got stuff to do. So I'm also strategic about it in that, I'll find something that's going to be really cool, like a project I just finished working on that's about to be released. I'm waiting for them to release it, the brand, I won't say it yet. And then once they do it, then I'll release a little bit of the content that I've been sent.
Sure.
And it's cool because the people that follow me or are fans of mine or people that are fans of the work that I've been a part of can see like the journey. I follow like Kevin Hart and a couple other people, and I think it's really cool that you'll see him on set with, The Rock or somebody, or Dwayne Johnson. And then he flies to North Carolina and does a stand-up, and then flies back to set because he's got to shoot that next morning. And I like seeing, that he's got family life, he's got private life, but he's also got a public persona, and he juggles it. So I look at things like that and go like, okay, yeah, I'll give a little bit of, today out here, and then, I'll go dormant for a little bit, and then I'll come out with, some music or some work that I've been doing. I just did a photo shoot for a friend who's opening his own gym, and I can attach, different parts of my life to that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, a great lesson, I think, and that ties into this. Where you're able to show two things, I think, which is one of the reasons why I want to have you on this program. One, you show what it takes to get to where you want to go, and that's hard work, I believe, and dedication. You definitely have shown that. But also, I think the balancing of the fact that you realize people are able to look at you and say, hey, Ben did this. There's no reason why I can't do this.
Right.
So being an example like that, is that something that you hope continues to happen as you're building your brand, whether you're doing acting, music, photography, whatever it might be?
Actually, I hope that is one of the main things, if not the specific thing. I still get inspired by seeing people that are from Oakland, doing something. It doesn't matter what it is. I was just on Instagram and I follow Fabio Davis Jr., who's a rapper, and he's opened a store. He's actually opened two stores, but he opened one store and then moved to his location to Broadway. Shout out to Mr. Fab. And he's not just like, there's like all these other rappers and then there's him, because he's done branding, and he's done merchandising, and he's got a clothing line, and he's very successful, similar to E40, who's got wine that is distributed by Costco. And if you know anything about Costco is the #1 distributor of wine in the nation. And so I look at stuff and I go like, wow, like people that I knew that grew up in Oakland or in the Bay Area or whatever can go like, wow, I really want to get XYZ off the ground, but I don't really feel like, and if they, because of the way technology is now, you can search people and go, oh, I didn't know that so-and-so went to this high school. And then, on a subconscious level, I at least will go like, wow, like, they sat in the same seat at some time, and now they're doing this, and they don't know the journey because everyone's journey is going to be different, but they still see, okay, me and you, we started this exact same place, and now this person's here, and that's where I want to be, and I just recently met Lance gross at the gym at the Grove, and we went to the same high school. Different times. He's younger than I am, but we had 4 or 5 of the same teachers, and we knew some people. And my cousin was actually in the same class as him at school, and I sort of get inspired by just even that. You know what I mean? And just going like, wow, like that dude is doing this. I mean, I know what I've done. I'm proud of myself, but the humble side of me, which tends to be a little bit more the outside, will be like, wow, like that dude has done this and that. But I'm like, okay, I can do it. Then I'm like, well, I kind of did it. But I still, it drives me to want to do and be, same thing with, I hope I don't say his name wrong, but Mahashara Ali, who was in Moonlight,
Okay.
and Luke Cage, and a couple other projects. He's also in the Roxanne movie. But he went to school in Hayward. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we graduated the same year. So I think we may know, the Bay Area's not super huge, so I think we may know 1 or 2 of the same people, or know of, or may have run into each other or whatever. But that kind of stuff inspires me. You know what I mean? It's okay, well, that dude's got, Oscar nomination and winning and this and that, and cover of GQ. So I'm like, okay, I got some things I want to check off my box for 2018. So
Right.
that's it.
So that brings up this. Since you brought that up,
Yes.
how has your idea of success been changed along this journey?
Wow.
Because, like you said, that gives you something to strive for, to look at. So, how has what success looked like in the beginning changed from what it looks like now?
Well, number one, it's changed because I have a son, and the big house and the nice cars and all that comes with a great school and the best for my son. Like it shifts, and then it's almost like climbing in an airplane during a cloudy day. Like once you see things from a different vantage point, you adjust. Like okay, like if I say, hey, I want a Ferrari, you know what I mean? The closer I get to it, I may decide, okay, well, I actually sat in one and they're not as comfortable. I want to get a Porsche or whatever. But it's not necessarily the materialistic stuff only, but it's like the sense of accomplishment means that if I decide I want to write a book, then I don't have to start from square one with it. I can go, okay, you know what? I can do this. And I'll just run straight into it and start going. So it's like the vision of success has altered in such that it's not just the material stuff as much as it's like I want to be able to go places and be at home. Like I want to be able to go shopping. I want to be able to go, to the Grove or go to the park or whatever and feel like I can just be there. And I can, which is nice. I mean, I was at the airport in Oakland and I got recognized and it was cool. We took a picture and everything like that. And I like that. And I like that people still can go like, yeah, he's still a down-to-earth dude, he's still, he's cool, and I think people respect people's work ethic. So like, if I was to be at a Beyonce level, or even a Jamie Foxx level, people would still see that I'm still a person, and, people do respect your personal boundaries. And then there's those that just freak out, you know what I mean? I know I was bartending a party and I made drinks for Jamie Foxx, and I was like, the whole time, I was like, I'm making him drinks. Like he's gonna do the song "Shots," and but you still keep it cool. You know what I mean? And so I feel like I've been able to kind of like navigate it pretty well. So that's what I'm using.
Well, you definitely are a cool down to earth guy. And I appreciate that it's come through in this conversation. It's come through on social media, and definitely come through in the way that you live your life. So I appreciate the time. Again, everyone, Ben Patterson has been our guest, joining us here for Conversations LA, as we're calling it here in Los Angeles. So Ben, you have to let our viewers know, how can they stay connected with you and kind of keep up with the journey?
Yes, so you can stay connected with me on Instagram at Benjamin Patterson all day. You can do some cool graphic and
There you go.
and then on Twitter at Ben Just Creates. And then I'm actually the latest music project will be the first self-titled project. It won't be under Sapphire Sky. It'll be under Benjamin Patterson.
Wow.
So it's going to be the best thing I've done so far. So it's going to be dope. So definitely check out Instagram and Twitter in the next like 2 weeks.
All right, so definitely, if you are viewing this, it'd be the perfect timing for you guys, so definitely make sure you're doing that. For those joining us online, just make sure you have your notifications on so you can stay connected with Ben. Ben, congratulations to you again, and looking forward to the next time.
Thank you.
And we thank you, our viewers, for tuning into this segment of Cyrus Webb Presents.